So I don't know about you, but as a semi-beginner content creator, one of the most frustrating things I find is trying to find the right music to put underneath my videos when I'm doing, for example, a tutorial or a walkthrough of some type of a cool tool or website that I've found. Now, today I'm going to be doing a very basic review of a really cool service that I just became aware of called SoundDraw. And the website for this is sounddraw.io. And this company, from what I've read, is based out of Japan. And basically what it does is it creates AI-generated music that is, according to their website, entirely unique for when you create it. And they have a pretty good licensing model here where, for free, you can come and create as many songs as you want, but you can't really download them or use them in a video, for example. If you do one of their paid plans, which they have a personal plan that you can do monthly or annually, you basically have access to download the songs that you create with the tool. You have the right to use it on different social platforms, etc. They then give you plenty of information about how the license works, what the license entitles you to, so on and so forth. But what I really like is just how easy it is to come in and create some music. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Music here. And you'll see that up top here we have some selectors where we can choose the length of the song that we want, so we can specify a certain length. So what I like about this is a lot of times the stock music that you can get off of different websites, it's just a predefined length. And you have to basically make your video work around the music versus have the music work around your video, which is the really unique thing about SoundDraw, is it actually lets you focus on your video and then you can create the music tailored to your video. So we can specify a length here. I'll just leave it at 3 minutes for this. But then you can come and you can pick the tempo that you want, slow, normal, or fast. So we're just going to leave it at normal. And then underneath the moods, you can see that they give you a variety of different presets for moods here. And then if we go down to genre, we can pick different types of genres that we want to do. So let's say, for example, I want to do like a house genre. So what it's going to do is it's going to load that as kind of like the first criteria or facet that I want for my music type. And you can see that it's starting to generate music. And right away, there's this huge list of music that is generated that's completely unique to this particular generation that I've done. And you can see underneath each song what the actual classifications are. So angry, dark, dreamy, busy and frantic, glamorous. And you can see it's 123 beats per minute. So if I go ahead and play this, so you can see it's potentially has some pretty cool usages for videos that you put together. So what you can do then, though, is you can come up underneath like theme, for example, and you can add some additional properties to this, and it will essentially regenerate some new music. So let's say, for example, I want this to be for tutorials. So it's going to take that into account and then go out and create additional options based on the fact that I want to use it for tutorials. So let's just listen to this first one, for example. Good evening, and I'm going to be covering this new tool for you today, and I'm using this as my backtrack, which was completely generated uniquely for me on SoundDraw. So the really cool thing about SoundDraw, though, is that it allows you to come underneath this energy section. And you can see here that we have these settings at the beginning to medium, and you can see on the waveform here that it's smaller, so it's indicating that the actual energy of this section of the song is going to be lower than when you get to this next section, for example, the very high. So watch what happens when I play the track and I toggle these sections to something different. Like, so for example, listen to the beginning. It's set to medium now. Now it's going to go to the next section. hear that there's more stuff coming into the track. So we're at very high now. So if I stop this and I say for the track I want it to be low at the beginning and then medium, and then I just want this to go to high instead of very high and then very high here, this is what's going to happen. Some of the instrumentation is gone, it's lower. Now we have some bass coming into the track. And then we're going to switch to the high. So it's getting a little more energetic here. And then it's going to do a drop down into the very high. So we have full instrumentation going on in this section here. And then it kind of goes back and repeats again. What you can also do is you can add in sections. So let's say I want to add another one of these. So it's going to add that section in there. And you can delete it if you want. One of the other really cool features of it is that there's this pro mode, so you can turn this pro mode on, and now you can actually see what is making up the different sections. So, for example, at the beginning, you can see that there's a backing track and a drum track. So if I play that, so obviously the drums are the drums, and then the backing track is the doot, 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 doot. But let's say I actually do want bass in this beginning section. What I can do is I can toggle the bass on. Let's say I want to get rid of the backing track and I just want drums and bass. Pretty cool, right? So the other thing you can do is you can actually come underneath the beats per minute and you can change that to different settings based on the song that was generated for you. So right now, this particular song is at 118 beats per minute. So let's see what happens if we slow it down to 94. It's going to regenerate the music. You can see that it's regenerating on the thumbnail here. Okay, so it's regenerated my song. It's now at 94 beats per minute, so let's see what that sounds like. Here comes the drop. So the other really cool thing, too, is that underneath these different sections, it seems that there's a couple different variations of whatever it's doing. So, for example, at the beginning, let's listen to the drums and the bass. So if you click on bass, you'll see that it changed from a light blue to a dark blue. So if I go ahead and click on that now and play it, you'll see that the bass sound has changed a little bit. I'll do the same thing with the drums. So it's a really, really cool, I just think this is such a cool site. You can also change, for example, the key. So it doesn't seem like it gives you actual letter-based keys, but it gives you different key options. So right now, this is what it sounds like. So let's change the key to key 4. It'll go out and regenerate the track, changing the key. And I'm going to put the beats per minute up to 126. Okay. So you can see it's changed the key, it changed the tempo. Now, the one thing I'm not sure of is what this fill option does here. So let me see when I'm playing this, I'm going to add some melody to this beginning track. This was off by default, so I'm not quite sure what that option does. But you can see that this tool is super versatile, and what it allows you to do, for example, is like, let's say your video at the 15-second mark has a spot where something's going to pop onto the screen. Now, normally when you went out and got a track from like a stock website, that track may not have a climactic drop, if you will, in the actual audio that fits that part of your video. So then what you have to do is you have to think, oh, I have to rework my whole video. Well, with this tool, what it allows you to do, as I showed you, is you can actually come in here and say, you know, I want to have low at the beginning of my song. I'm going to keep it low. And then at the 15-second mark, I just want it to be very high. And then I want it to go back down to a medium. So if we do that, so it's just to be like intro clips of your video going. Same thing here. And then at the 15-second mark, we're going to have something pop onto the screen. Boom. But if that's not what you want, you can just change this to be medium or low and then have your high come in here at the 22-second mark. Pretty crazy. Just to give you a sample of some of the other stuff that this created. Well, let's just do a different one, just as a test here. So we're going to go out and we're going to pick underneath mood. We're going to do, let's see, funny and weird. And then under genre, we'll do funk. And then under theme, we'll do cinematic. Just let's see what it generates for this combination. Funny and weird, funk, and cinematic. We'll just go with the first one here. Not bad. So let's try. Let's do angry. And then we'll do trap. And then we'll do wedding and romance. Let's see what this generates. So crazy what you can do with this. And then, like I said, if you have a subscription, you can actually then download the music and use it in your YouTube videos or your other platforms. So hopefully this gave you some information on a really cool utility for content creators that gives you a lot more flexibility to make your music fit around your video content.